a little bit slow off the mark in MDL. There was some big surprise results. The 16-8 loss to Gamer Legion really stands out because I casted it. But they were a solid roster. They looked pretty good. I didn't really have any issues with them. It was just they were getting out-fragged. And now that Flame seems to have settled in a bit better, he started to hit his shots. It started to look a lot cleaner across the board. And, well, we're going to get straight into the pistol round. And Endpoint actually starting T-side dust too. I like that.
I'm not a fan. I think CT side dust 2 is actually fairly powerful with the current metagame and how it's being played. But I am excited to see Endpoint. I just think they're just a great dust 2 team, always have been. So should be interesting. Singularity, though, starting things off with 3 players on the A bomb site. Salorite takes a peek in, gets a quick little head in there as well, fades away and gets information of the rest of the players, while Notan will be the one to take the duel. Salorite still fighting up and will fight him down. Crucial and Robin to fall, Mighty Max to be left very lonely in one ring where everyone's laughing off because he will get just 1 kill before being faded away.
As soon as I say I like Endpoint starting T-side of Dust 2, they get absolutely demolished. But you can see the idea, the execution just didn't quite land. The window peak gets the nice opening pick for Singularity, and it gets them a lot of information as well. From there on in, they're relatively clean sailing. Just got to hit their shots, which they do a fantastic job of, don't get me wrong. And without a bomb plant, well, Endpoint are looking a little worse for wear. Force Buy will come through, but it's 2 techs, 2 deagles, and a scout, where traditionally you'd expect an AK, a couple of Galils, maybe some MAC-10s as well on this kind of a force. So the firepower is not fantastic, but we know Endpoint have got some fraggers who can certainly make these kind of weapons work. And against the buy that Singularity have got at this point, 2 MP9s, 2 FAMAS, just the 1 M4, and very slim on utility as well. There's definitely a world where they can stick the landing with it. They've got a good amount of smokes. The fake towards mid-B will come through first, and then I suspect the short take shortly thereafter, and that scout of Crucial going to be absolutely essential for trying to find those opening picks. You can see Nikados playing towards the A ramp. He's the lone A-hold at the moment. Just cell rate out towards long, very, very deep. Not really going to be able to do too much at all as the drop comes in, and here we go. It's going to be Nikados under a lot of pressure. Mighty Max tight on this angle with a Tech 9. Should be able to get an easy opener, and he does. Traded beautifully by Iceberg in the meanwhile. But 4 on 4, bomb down. Endpoint already looking to set themselves up in afterplant positions. This is looking good.
This is looking fantastic for them, and the CTs were trying to funnel in from the spawn itself are going to have such a difficult time. Crucial, though, gets so aggressive, and he's punished. And now, with Iceberg jump spawning out of player, Flames is trying to fight back, and Robin's the only one to really break blood, and Robin's looking to do more than that. He's locked away by the player on car, though, and Iceberg pushes into him, finding 4 kills with the MP9, and finding, Singularity just another round. I will quickly point out, though, Endpoint played that incredibly well, and I really appreciate the decision to buy a couple of Tech 9s in there. I think the Tech 9 is criminally underutilized on maps like Dust 2, especially if you already have a preset plan of going up a short and trying to work around that. They play it nicely. They have the nice little Vanguard wall of smokes there, but unfortunately, Crucial gets over aggressive later on. They can't really get the post one to work with their weaponry and without having recovered weaponry from Singularity's side. So the retake goes well, and they're able to get it done. And Endpoint now, they'll be on not completely eco, but about as close to it as you can really expect to see in 2020.
I totally agree with you. The tech, it's a very RNG weapon, but when it works, it works. And the only criticism I would have had there is I would have liked to seen Crucial Scout going towards short and not being the aggressive player in middle, middle of the bomb site even. Like, you've got 2 Tech 9s. They can play the up close and personal angles. Let your scout try and defend the bomb at range. That feels like the ideal setup, as Iceberg's going to get his first. Mighty Max going down. And again, we're going to see Endpoint trying to leverage this short control. Nikados actually with the AWP in his hand this time will go down to the P250 of Crucial, but yeah, that's going to be about all they managed to achieve here. Iceberg even switching out to the USP to finish things off, and that's about what you expect from those sort of buys. Just the 1 frag, you managed to overwhelm 1 player. Singularity do a good job of recovering the AWP regardless, so it's not going to be too financially bad for them to lose that player who goes down. And Endpoint, well, it's an awkward 3-0. They've managed to find a couple of frags fairly consistently. They've kept that CT economy honest, and now they've got their opportunity to punish. As Crucial picks up the AWP, AKs for the rest of the team, good utility across the board. And again, pretty much the same setup we've seen from them every round at this point. But Nikados, he's got aggressive up short. How is he still alive? How has he even hit that shot? Surreal goes down to 16 HP as Nikados is down on 22, but the AWPer is just about going to be able to bail out.
Yeah, Endpoint, they really need to start squeaking together this particular round, I think. I haven't really been able to punish the CT side. Nikados That's not even a timing shot. That's just a little bit of blind luck coming into it. Cyril ends up going down to him, and he's got a plenty good enough angle to keep anyone from on mid bay. So the straight push towards short will come through. No one's really keeping an eye out for it. They're staying they're keeping 2 players on long for a very, very long time, actually. And they're not willing to rotate backwards. With the smoke from mid to B comes out, Endpoint still trying to give away as much information as they can. And if Flames gets caught out, this is going to be a pincer or a retake that's just waiting to happen. Singularity's positioning is incredibly good for catching off a lurker and going for a retake.
He's going to lend them to an open bomb site, an open plant as well for Endpoint, though they're not to know that, so the utility will be expended regardless. That will give the game away for the CTs. They'll start to make their plays, and as you said, Cellrate and Iceberg looking to punish Flames. They've heard him as well, heard that tag through the doors, so Iceberg will take him down, and now pretty much the story you wrote, T-Sun. This is looking like a fantastic retake position. Molotov will go over the head of Mighty Max, who knows he's got to get something done from this position on the bomb site. He's got to buy some time for his team, but as Crucial goes down, Robin, yes, he's posted on short, but he has to help his teammate out. 2 quick frags come in, and Mighty Max finally dealt with. Noton is there to back his team up. And yeah, again, it's beautifully clean coming in from Singularity. That lack of alert flare, as you said, that lack of flames out A long just meant they only had to concentrate on the bomb site. There were very few angles they had to clear, and so they could trade efficiently, despite losing a couple of players that realistically they probably didn't need to lose for Mighty Max and Robin. They make it, they get the round on the board. It's 4-0. They managed to save a couple of AKs as well. And the buys, well, they're going to start getting a little bit worse for Endpoint. This time, no AWP. Crucial's dropped down to that AK-47. They need to start finding a way through this CT defense soon.
And so far, I have absolutely loved what Singularity's shown us, because what they've shown us is they know exactly when to play retake. It's when they know there's a significant risk of losing the round, they're playing retake, but when they also realize, hey, we need to make sure Endpoint's not getting a bomb plant in a round where, you know, they have a Tech 9 but no armor behind it, and, you know, most of them are basically on an eco. They fight much harder and much closer. As I say that, though, Cyril gets a bit of a harder fight down through a smoke directly to Remoy's head, so now we get to see how Singularity play man down, and that is a big test that, you know, all teams have to be able to stand through.
A nice opening pick for Endpoint, something a little bit fortunate to open their account on the T side, and gives them an opportunity. A man up now. Nikodos playing that back of Kenny S angle. Very difficult to deal with. Sat with the AWP, posted up, and really in the perfect position to get one and fall off, but he's going to fall a little bit soon. The utility over the top will ward him back into the bomb site, and with the Molotovs coming through, he's got to commit to this. He's got to take a peek. He's burning alive on that bomb site, and Mighty Max, well, he's going to get a freebie. Surreal spots out Iceberg as he just thinks and recommits. Tries to duck back into that CT smoke to buy himself a little more time, but it's not going to work out, and well, Surreal is looking for more blood as well. That's a beautiful shot to take out Cellrate, and Noton, he'll satisfy himself with saving the AK-47, but a very clean round, and that is much more what I expected to see from Endpoint on their T side of Dust 2. Just clean executions, hitting their shots, and just finding the frags, making it look very easy as well.
And Endpoint's one of the first teams who I was really convinced that this is a team that's changed how I view Dust 2 entirely on the T side. They've always been so incredibly tactically sound, and I love what Mighty Max has been doing in these past few rounds, actually, is that they're changing how the wall of smokes has traditionally been used. So normally speaking, when the wall of smokes comes in towards short, you generally see players just trying to lurk around and get aim duels, but what Mighty Max is doing is he's lining up a Molotov using the signboard next to the small crate on short, and he's lining it up behind the smoke to get the air ramp mollied out completely. With that, they throw a secondary Molotov for the side itself. There's no way an Opera can do anything. So the only place where you can play for him is actually the corner. And guess what? The corner is not useful when you've got a one-way of Vanguard smoke. So Endpoint's going for a full execute, and this is a very new style of play, which not a lot of teams are going for, but they will start to. So I'm just really enjoying seeing that from Endpoint right now, and I'm excited to see whether Singularity can actually bring in the necessary adjustment in there as well.
Well, of course, this round it's slim pickings. 1 M4 on Remoy, a saved AK on Noton, 3 Deagles to boot, and understandably the CT side are looking to get aggressive with it. 3 players posted on short, and a nice little boost as well to spot them out, but Mighty Max quick to rip the head off the first. Cellrate goes down, and With that information, they know there's at least a second player over towards short. Probably not expecting the third, however. They take their slow long control. And Endpoint, again, just playing this one smart. Just sitting back, waiting for those picks to come through. Yes, Mighty Max was a little bit isolated in towards middle, but he does a good job of finding his frag. And at this point, Remoy and Noten, I think, looking for one and then maybe falling off, looking to save those two rifles they've been holding on to. Iceberg and Nikodos, though, going to start getting aggressive and actually rip the head off. That's a nice shot to take out Mighty Max, and it may spur them on a little bit here, especially those Deagles. Nikodos, I'm sure, will be looking for more, but I think at this point, with 3 rifles, 1 recovered, 2 saved, your CT side, that bomb going down really just means they're going to have to try and save it. They're thinking about going up short, but with this little utility, it feels very risky.
I guess they do have a kit, so there's something to say about, hey, we'll have a buy in the next round regardless. Let's try and get in our punches where we can. So maybe that one of those, stray punches hits. Maybe it's a knockout over there, but it's going to be so difficult. Nikodos is taking first contact, but they've caught them off at a perfect time when they're fading away. They've got themselves free, and now Crucial has to fight back with the AWP. He's scoped in, finds the first, peeking out is impossible, and Remoy takes him away. Singularity catch the perfect timing, but Nikodos just doesn't have time. That's still a perfect round coming out when you consider they save the AWP, they get all of Endpoint down, and Endpoint now, if you lose a round on them, you don't have loss bonus, you don't have money, it's suddenly a little bit more touchy.
I was sat there saying, I think at this point you saved the 3 rifles and they nearly managed to make the retake work at that point. If they had 1 smoke there, I'm backing them to find it. Crucial really bailing his team out, and it's unfortunate for Nikodos that he can't quite find the timing to get that defuse through, but as you said, so much damage done. All the rifles taken away from Endpoint, the AWP saved across, and Nikodos will get dropped that as well. It's really the only way that comes out better is if they stick to defuse. Other than that, it was absolutely flawless. The timing couldn't have been better. 3 quick frags on the fadeaway players, and then Crucial with that AWP. He's stuck between a rock and a hard place, really. He's got to try and commit, but he knows he can't take a fight against multiple players. That's awkward. The flashbang blinds Crucial. He lobs a shot directly into the chest of Flames and gives Singularity that A-long control they've been so desperately trying to gain, and it's actually forced Endpoint to rethink their plans here. They had 2 players looking to commit to long instead. They're going to barrel their way up short. They've managed to sneak Mighty Max out of mid as well. It looks like they could commit to the B split.
I love the smoke that Robin's lining up. This is such a nice smoke. Is it the one I think it is? No, never mind. This is just a secondary mid to B smoke. Never mind. I thought this was... you can smoke up B doors from here. That's a really cool smoke. But Iceberg finds himself that first kill. Initially, the mid to B smokes have a little bit of a gap in them actually on the right side. So maybe Iceberg can make it something from it. Instead, though, he's just gone through and found himself one. Crucial, in the meanwhile, takes down Remoy, yes, but Endpoint are still feeling the pain. And let's not forget again, money's not there, but Surreal is. He's already crept through into the B-bomb site. Question is, can Nodan find something once he's been smoked off? He's trying to spray through that smoke, but nothing really to be found, and it's time to go for the retake on the B-bomb site.
Very difficult site to retake. 1 smoke to work with across this CT side. They're going to need an opportune pick. They're going to need somebody to go down on Endpoint to really make this work. And Robin, well, he's lurking, lying in wait for the tunnel's aggression. Iceberg taken away. And now 3 on 3. This is going to be surely impossible. Noten has taken a dink through the doors. Surreal's going to find Cell Rate instead. With Noten on 10 HP, I think, yeah, they're just going to bail out of this situation. They do good damage onto Crucial, but a couple of opportune picks, 1 from Robin, 1 from Surreal. There's really nothing more Singularity could hope to do. That B-bomb site, notoriously difficult to get into. And when you're as slim on util as they are, you could see what they tried to do. Drop a smoke through the B doors. Maybe you can aggress towards car, clear that angle first, then start to work around the edges. But when Surreal's wallbang headshotting you through B doors, there's really not a lot you can hope for. And again, Singularity are in a slightly awkward position economically. They've got a couple of saved rifles, and it looks like they're going to try and scrape the buy behind it as well, but there is going to be sacrifices. Cell Rate down on that MP9.
Getting 3 kits and head armor is an interesting decision when you're this low economically, but they'll be going in on Endpoint. Endpoint, Flames will lead the charge, goes in directly through long. He's yet to even find a frag, so not been the best of performances from him. I've generally actually, so I've costed him twice. I know his numbers haven't been bad overall, but at both times I've costed him, Flames has seemed to sometimes capitulate just a little bit. So I'm still waiting to see a little bit more of a fantastic performance from the man himself. But I like this from Singularity, very heavily focused around short. If they can get some kills later on in the crossing while they're trying to get the bomb plan in, you can go for it. Otherwise, going for a save is perfectly fine. Robin's Molotov, though, makes things much trickier because Nikoros now can't go through, now can't use utility on the side, and Endpoint should have a free bomb plan.
Singularity is certainly playing some interesting setups on the CT side. As you said, it's not your traditional one-player play site, or you see a long take come through and then you have somebody holding for the short peak. It's very innovative, pushing aggressively up short, giving away long in the process. And this time it doesn't look like it's paid off at all. Again, Singularity, it feels like they're trying to teach an old dog new tricks. They're trying to go for this exact same play of waiting for the timing, and it's going to be difficult for them. This time 5-on-5, and Surreal with a double spray down on short has made it so easy for them. Cellrate and Noten, they'll drag a couple of frags back, but finally that flank you pointed out comes through, and well, Cellrate, he's only got an MP9. He's absolutely stuck in CT. There's nothing he can hope for as the bomb ticks down. It's going to be a 4th on the board for Endpoint, and I don't mind the setup. I think, as you said, it's really innovative from Singularity, but there's a reason the setups work on Dust 2. It's time-tested, it's means-tested, and CT sides know how to play it. Trying something a little bit new, it's not going to work out every single time, and that time they are punished for it. As you said, one Molotov locks out all of that short utility. There's nothing they can do to deny the bomb plant, and then from there, well, it's a 5-on-5 retake, and they're hoping for a little bit of a timing again, coming in with about 20 seconds left on the bomb, but this time Endpoint are ready for it. So they get through it cleanly, and then there's Deegs and an MP9 waiting for them in the next.
Just to clarify, I thought the setup's good because they can save if they don't get anything. But not because I wanted them to go for a retake up short at CT. I don't think that works very often, even if it has done all right for them so far. But even so, you're right. Some interesting things coming out there. I also feel terrible that I just point out, look at Mighty Max and Surreal gets the 3 kills right there on the short players. But hey, that's fine. These things happen. Again, Singularity is heavily focused on short and middle, and it's really interesting to see them go for this. I'm not sure if maybe this is a read that they have on Endpoint. Maybe they've seen some demos and whatnot, and they're trying to anti-strat Endpoint, and Endpoint's just playing default. But I don't know about that. Regardless, Surreal does get dinked initially in mid, but that dink won't really matter all too much. Easy side control has been gained. Singularity are now again going to be on a retake with Deagles. The strange thing for me is not their prioritization of short, Wolfie. The strange thing for me is the fact that they're doing it even when they have Deagles. You're not even trying to go for those early entrance point duels with the Deagles where, you can maybe try and get a quick few one taps, 1 or 2 kills come in. Anything's possible. On a retake, a little bit less so.
You see, that time I didn't mind it so much because it felt pre-made. We've seen, I think, twice now on these sort of Deagle buys. The first time it was Mighty Max, who was caught in that corner towards the top right-hand side of mid. This time it's Surreal. That really does feel like it's a read now because they found 2 dinks from it and very nearly 2 frags. So it feels like that's what they're going for on these sort of Deagle buys where they push through short, is maybe we can get that pick middle, we recover a rifle from that, and from there the retake feels a little bit more viable, right? You've got an AK-47 to work with, you've got a Deagle up short, maybe you can rip some heads off and make something happen. I don't understand it with the rifles so much. I think when you're going for this buy, like this exact round here, what I want to see from Singularity is contesting long initially. They've tried it once, it worked pretty well. And then from there, just rotating players into fairly standard positions. Stick Nikodos on that AWP, either on the bomb site or holding for the mid push. Have a rifle somewhere up short and leave somebody posted in here. Okay, that Molotov, not really sure that was meant to land there. That was meant to go into the long doors. And it's going to give Flames opportunity as well to try and cause some havoc. You can see him already drawing firepower, but this is interesting. Trying to play a smoke timing, and Noten's just going to instantly find the dink. Surreal the first to fall. And the Singularity go for pretty much exactly the setup I was after. Nikodos is going to pop flash Cellrate in, and Flames could be in a lot of trouble here. Nice pick from Nikodos on the AWP. And 5v3, Endpoint in trouble.
They do have Crucial still alive, and this is a man who can bail you out of any tough situation. So maybe there's a bit of a chance here, but you're right, it's going to be difficult. Mighty Max lines up the same flashbang / utility I was talking about for ramp. That'll be going over in just a bit while Crucial waits for the man to peek out into him. Instead, settles just for the kill on Iceberg. Robin gets another. It's back to a 3v3, and Mighty Max is positioned impeccably. covers his teammates and allows them the advantage. And now the only risk that's really there is Celerate on the flank, and that flank is not coming. That flank is looking down mid because he expects them. Oh, is he just saving?
Yep.
Okay, so Singularity's economic decisions don't make a lot of sense to me, because in the previous round when they have deagles, they save the deagles. In the round before that, when you've got rifles and it's a nearly impossible retake, you're not saving rifles. Now you're in a 2v3. You have some control on the site. You can potentially try and pick off the players as they come in through short because you know Mighty Max is on short. I'm really getting confused by a few of these decisions overall.
I don't know if you heard that, chat, but that was a slight headache coming on as T-Time's trying to work out what Singularity are doing on their CT side. But it's going to be Endpoint with a 6th and a 6-4. They're not doing a bad job of it on their T side. And again, I think, as you said, crucial, right? He can bail you out of any situation. There's no way on earth he should be allowed to get that pick. Iceberg goes down initially, and then panic alarms start sounding in Singularity's head. They're already starting to think about, we need to refrag. We need to take Crucial down. And as a result, they push right into the crosshair of Robin, who is just waiting for that exact play. So it's really well engineered initially. And then Mighty Max, yes, he's positioned brilliantly. He's very fortunate that Nikodos just happens to swing right into his crosshair as he's peeking in towards CT. That gives them the man advantage. And honestly, it just felt like Singularity was so disheartened about how it so quickly went so wrong that they were just worried about holding onto their rifles. They were so concerned about losing those fights. And as I say that, Nikodos grabs himself too in middle and grabs himself a bomb down as well. This time, no crucial on the server to bail Endpoint out. And Mighty Max, he's gone down to 20 HP as well. That is a perfect start from the AWPer, just to make everything I said null and void.
Well, we've seen them bailed out a bit before, and Celerate is in a position which Flames has been expecting pretty paranoidly. Flames, though, not had the best of games so far. Maybe this can be his debut onto the scoreboard properly, and he will find his first kill, so important point to get it as well. Iceberg caught off by the one-way smoke. Mighty Max will take him down, and somehow it seems like history is repeating itself. Well, I forget history. One round ago is repeating itself, as we've gone from a 5v3 down to 3v3. And a lot of control still there from Endpoint.
2 players low HP will bait Singularity into this one. Flames knows he's got to play an off angle here, and he's playing the trigger discipline as well. If Noten clears him, this could be huge, but this is all on the timing, and Flames with the double spray down has locked it out. The trigger discipline from the new boy is spectacular. And Nikodos with 15 HP on that AWP is already thinking about where he can hide that big green so he can hold on to it. That was picture perfect again from Endpoint. Again, a 3v5 that they bailed themselves out of. And again, just such a clean take of the bomb site. And just individuals, yes, winning their fights, but also the game sense, the one-way smoke that Iceberg wasn't expecting. And just to cap it all off, Flames gets his 4th frag of the round by taking out the AWPer. So, yeah, that was pretty stunning for a T side to take a 3-on-5 on a map like Dust 2 as well. It's very difficult for teams to pull that back. So, really doing a lot of work here, Endpoint, and they're going to get their reward off the back of it. 3 deags, a few flashbangs, limited util, and a tag through the mid doors from Crucial, as Endpoint will look to make it 8 against the Pistols.
Well, Robin, okay, he's just farming up some eco kills. Why not? While he's at it. I think the important thing, Wolfie, which lends even more credibility to your point, as Robin will get yet another, is... I just knocked into my microphone. Yet another is that they don't just get a 3v5. They get 2 3v5s one by one in a row, all of which are in very difficult positions. It's not even like your players are all clumped together and you just win some great duels. No, they're isolating out these 1v1s really effectively, as Nodan will get 1 kill in the meanwhile. And Endpoint just makes this a very clean set of affairs. If you look over towards how the rounds have gone, if I'm not wrong, is this 8 in a row for Endpoint or 7 in a row?
Oh, you're putting me on the spot. You're putting me on the spot, T-Time, but it's 8 in a row as well.
Yeah.
Blimey. Okay. I mean, yeah, you can see, I think, just the skill of the individuals of Endpoint really shining through so far, and something a little bit different this time. Remoy looking to get aggressive into lower tons, but he can only find 1. The trade comes through immediately, and you can see the CT side desperate to pull it off. That's a lovely quick scope from Nikodos. to get it to the 4-on-3. He's taken a lot of damage in the process, though. Now vulnerable to those rifles as well. And Endpoint, once again, it's almost bailing yourselves out territory because they're stuck in a very awkward spot. That's a freebie for Nikodos, not being checked. He'll take out Flames. And Crucial and Surreal, well, if you wanted a clutch from Endpoint, these would be the two players you pick to make it happen, but can they find it yet again?
So far, we haven't really needed to pick many players to make Endpoint clutches happen. Maybe, though, these are the two who will drive through over here. They've still got a smoke on them, so a bit more utility than they've had in the past few rounds later on. But the problem is now Singularity get to go on the retake. They've been very good on it so far. And as Crucial just gets destroyed by Cellrate, it's all down to Surreal. 1v4. Nikodos can be caught out. He's very low on HP, but he's playing this angle perfectly. Surreal, though, found out by Iceberg, and he will fall. Endpoint still get themselves a bomb plant, but not really the requisite damage to give yourself a comfortable round in the next one, regardless of the CT win, which is what you're always looking for if you're losing around on the T side. But Singularity, now they've got themselves a double op setup. Nikodos has been fantastic on mid. Maybe they've still got a little bit more punch in them.
I'll have to see if the double AWP is the injection of adrenaline that they need to try and pull this CT half back. And yeah, I think that's really what it's got to be at this point. Notun's got to step up, reach Nikodos' level, give his team something to play around. That's a beautiful pop flash for Iceberg, and he's managed to make his way into pit. A low HP Robin will get some damage off at the very least, but no frag as of yet, and you can see Surreal desperate to take out this pit player. There we go, traded 1-for-1 with cell rate brought down to 12 HP as well. This is a nice early engagement from the T side of Endpoint. And interestingly, we've seen no real aggression from the CT side as a result. They've not really pushed through B tunnels. They haven't really cleared too much information off the map. Nikodos, though, going to find another pick before he's dealt with. Crucial, the AWP finally getting the better of his compatriot. And 3-on-3, Endpoint surely going to slow this down a bit now.
Well, Endpoint might be, but Singularity is looking to do just the opposite. They pushed all the way up mid. They have so much information, and they're going in for the long flank. The question is Flames expecting it? Because it sure looks like it. He's got the bomb, though, so eventually he'll have to be the one who's moving forward. There's 50 seconds on the clock. Singularity is starting to move up. Flames is intercepted, and he's found the first. He's even going forward with the AK, clearing it out completely, finding Cellrate. This guy's got game sense for days.
Really clean. And just to really rub salt in the wounds, a one tap from Mighty Max to finish the job. And again, Endpoint just firepowering it out. Straight trades initially. Flames with a really nice read. A double kill there as well, just to put that final nail in the coffin. And Endpoint looking to post double digits in their first half. We said that double AWP setup needed to give Singularity a little bit of a booster. It hasn't happened. They're going to reinvest in it regardless. And it's going to mean some major sacrifices. No utility on Notun. Remoy and Iceberg with one nade apiece. Nothing on Nikodos. And there's an MP9 in the server as well for Iceberg. Endpoint really in a fantastic position here with that firepower advantage. Push coming in as well. Robin, beautifully timed, gets himself the double. That's the B-bomb site opened up. And how many times do we talk about that B-bomb site being difficult to retake? This time, they've got to do it with double AWPs. Iceberg will get a 1-for-1 trade, but Cellrate and Nikodos, they're left with the impossible. Crucial's going to get picked off at least initially, but it's still 3-on-2. It's still bombed down, and it's still that B-bomb site with limited utility.
Robin completely opens it up, but he goes down afterwards. Can the rest of Endpoint be the ones who close it up? They've got 2 flashes on Mighty Max as well, and against the AWPs, that's incredibly valuable. Mighty Max, though, in an awkward position where he doesn't feel comfortable taking them out. Still spam coming in, and Singularity, they don't even have any rifles to go around picking up in the meanwhile. Cellrate and Nikodos, both just trying to find something, trying to get a bang in, but they're just being banged out. 10-5 Endpoint. Despite being down 4-0 to start things off, despite Flames being 0-8 in the beginning, they still get themselves up to double digits in the first half. That is insanity right there.
Yeah, that was a very clean half of CS. It felt like once Endpoint got warmed up, there really wasn't a lot Singularity could do to counter them. I mean, as you said, it was, 8 rounds in a row, then they lose 1, then they take 2 immediately thereafter. So as soon as they make one mistake, they're straight back on the gas, giving Singularity absolutely no room to breathe. And now they'll head over to your preferred side, T-Time, the CT half. And I think if they take this pistol and they can get a clean 3-0 start to things, life's going to be all but impossible for Singularity. They really need an early pistol, shut that gap down, take some of that momentum away from Endpoint, because boy, have they had a lot of it in the first half. And then maybe you can make something of this. Posturing for a very quick B hit here. Smoke and 4 flashbangs behind it. But they're going to slow down as they reach upper tons.
Yeah, the problem for me isn't even a momentum. It's just the confidence that Endpoint's got to be having on them right now. But Singularity, they're ready for a straight B rush to come in. And, well, that's contact made. Crucial in the meanwhile is the hidden snake in the boots. And he's going to try and take a few of them down as he's on the side. But he misses it all. Instead, it's Max to step up with 3. 3v2. Now Max, who's already done all the work in the world. And now the question is, can they stop this bomb from being planted? Cyril and company are coming over, but it'll be a bit late to the party, and the bomb will go down. So at least money's been guaranteed, but now it's all about that round. Can Notan find the quick double taps over towards tunnel as he peeks in? The CTs are pushing forward. Notan's being collapsed upon, and Robin's found the kill. Mighty Max with the 4th, and that is style points for days. Endpoint find their 11th.
I mean, how do you counter that if you're Singularity? They've played that so well. They get flames, they deal with the hidden player in Crucial as well, and then Mighty Max
all the
just
shots
swings in
too. Yeah.
with 2 flashes, no armor at all, and just rips 3 heads off, because why not? And from there, it's just about trading efficiently, which we know this Endpoint roster can do, right? They're very well established, besides Flames, you'll put that out there, but they are a very clean roster. They're very good at trading efficiently. And when you've got the individuals who can step up like that, it is a recipe for success yet again. Singularity, despite getting that bomb down, don't go for the force that's almost become customary at this point. They're instead going to try and pick themselves up 5 deagles, try and get maybe a few frags here and there, try not to feed the MP9s of Flames and Crucial so much, and then look to buy cleanly into the 3rd round of this second half as Endpoint. I like this. Just taking no risks. Not looking to walk into what could be a force buy. Sitting back on your angles. You can see Crucial with the MP9, the only really aggressive player on short, and he's got a rifle to back him up in the form of Robin, and he'll start farming here. First frag comes in. Second, despite being blinded. Smoke to back him up. Bomb down in his grasp. Absolutely textbook from Endpoint as Surreal just looks to get in on the party.
And Singularity are a team we generally like to go for the second round, like deco or eco, depending on whether they have the bomb one in. But I think in a situation like this, you really start to wonder whether it's just worth it to try and go for a quick Hail Mary. You're down 5 versus 3. Endpoint are showing no signs of needing to really lose weapons at that stage. They have full bomb control. Flames is coming in from behind as well. Surreal's keeping them distracted in the meanwhile, so Flames is just being set up for a quick, big old multi-kill round. And before he even gets a chance, Crucial just steals those kills away. 4 kills for your Opper, so he can buy up an Op very comfortably. Singularity will not even have the superior buy that you have started to associate with the terrorist side at this point, necessarily. I mean, Crucial might not go for the Op, but he can. That's the problem.
That's going to force Singularity to treat it with a little bit more respect as well, as Crucial's going to stick around on that MP9, look for a little bit of a CT bonus round. Flames as well. So 2 SMGs still on the server for this CT side, and Flames nearly getting punished initially by cell rate, manages to back off the angle just about in time, and as a result, we'll be able to get aggressive off of it. If Endpoint can win this one, if they can make the bonus round stick, that would be absolutely huge. It would really start to put Singularity to bed as those AKs, slow, meticulous control taken. They have managed to get mid. A couple of players posted short to try and take that control, and it is just Crucial on the MP9 there, so a relatively favorable fight, and they're going to try and press the issue as well. Multiple players pushing that angle now, and for Crucial, this is it. He's got to catch this initial frag. Iceberg right into the jaws of the beast, but he'll get the frag, not taking any real damage either, and they can swarm off the back of this. Flames still stuck on that MP9. Robin with just a FAMAS on this A bomb site. This is going to be a very difficult hold.
Flames is pushing in as well. He's just playing Kenny S inside the smoke. Endpoint know exactly how to deal with the smoke, and that's going to be the problem. Flames even blocks another one in the meanwhile, gets good damage in the fadeaway, and he's switched out to the Eagle. So this could be a big highlight moment for the man himself. Goes back to the MP9, waiting for them to push into him. Robin still making them pay for it as he's gotten himself 3 quick kills, and that is going to be all she wrote unless Remoy can clutch this out, and Remoy just doesn't win the duel. Robin, 4 kills to his name. Can it be the 5th? Can it be the ace? Accelerate definitely coming over from short will give him a chance at least. Can he get the last kill? 8 seconds on the clock. Robin still waiting. Robin still wants to fight this. Even trying to let the clock wear out, and Robin with an ace. That is, honestly, this might be more of a one-sided affair than the first map at this point.
What were we saying? Something about star power? Robin with a FAMAS coming in with the ace from Goose. They know exactly where he is after the first frag comes through, and they can do absolutely nothing about it. Singularity just piling misery on misery at this point. Now the buy comes out for Endpoint, and Crucial just starts to farm an early pick on that AWP to take Noten out of the server. And Endpoint looking firmly on the path to victory here. Deagle's couple of scouts for the T side. Nice shot from Cellrate as well. So Crucial only going to get one with that AWP, which isn't in a bad spot either for the recovery. Surreal under pressure going to be traded by Cellrate, and Singularity might finally be finding some legs to their T side. A couple of quick trades from the scout. That leaves rifles in recoverable positions, and you can see Remoy keen to keep taking those fights, trying to punish as the flank just starts to come through. This timing for Robin is everything. He drops on Cellrate, but can't quite hit the shot. And that nade, that is so full. It connects on the low HP player. Robin capitalizes for the next. And Nikados ruining missed chances as he's the last on the server.
I feel like this is a good old let's sit down and talk about the next round time. Robin will just peek in. Nikados doesn't get the instant headshot, which makes it basically impossible for him to get the kill. Another 3 kills for Robin, this time slightly less impressive, though it's generally kind of hard to top out an ace for the FAMAS in an angle where they already know where you are, but hey, I'll forgive him that. Meanwhile, though, Endpoint will continue to just have a very solid, consistent buy. The one place where I'd say Singularity at least have a bit of leeway maybe where they can make it work is, Endpoint don't have the biggest bank in the world, so there is that. But as Cellrate comes out, he's flashed up, he gets the first kill regardless, and although he's very low, at least there's a man advantage for now.
Man advantage, plenty of damage done though, and Endpoint I'm sure will be looking to capitalize. They're looking to pivot their CT hold off the back of that information. They've actually got nobody posted up in B at the moment. They're going to take mid off the back of it. Short push from Crucial. A couple of players clearing out the lower tunnels as well should give plenty of information away. They have to deal with Noten though. He's posted in upper tuns. I think he's heard the footsteps as well. This could be a huge read if he's called that they think this is the A bomb site, and that bomb makes the rotation away. It's a free round for Singularity, but it's going to be all on these timings now. All on whether the CT side start to smell a rat, and you can see them thinking about it. Bomb makes its way down middle. Noten really hasn't pushed too far over towards that B bomb site. Nikados still posted in the pit as well. Still looks like they potentially want to split off towards this A bomb site. Mighty Max spotting plenty in middle as well. Endpoint still in with a shout of this one as the bomb does indeed make its way up towards short.
It all comes down to Flames, and he's been so good in these high-pressure situations, but he regained his angle. Smoke comes out as well. A bit of a one-way for Crucial on the side itself. Flames gets a good little tap onto Cellrate. It was low already. Molotov comes in. It's forced to be smoked out, but that gives them awkward angles to deal with. Flames dodges a flash, trying to fight back. Not brought down yet. Comes in with a peek, and it's a great flash to allow him the kill. Flames and Crucial making quick work, and Nikados is the last one alive, and that life is going to be short-lived. 15-5. And that wasn't even actually a flashbang from Endpoint where Flames got the kill. Singularity just team flashed themselves accidentally. So that's also a thing.
Oh, it's brutal. It is brutal to watch at this point. 15-5. Endpoint really just firing on all cylinders at the moment on the T side. And there's nothing that Singularity have really been able to do to stop them. They've just looked utterly dominant on their CT side. Singularity have fallen a little bit flat. Yet to get a round registered on the board. And Endpoint, yeah, they were a little bit slow to get into this game. It was a quick 4-0 start for Singularity, and you started to have a little bit of faith, but Endpoint quickly put that one out, and they have really shown that they are a force to be reckoned with here, putting up some big numbers on the server. Robin showing up in a huge way as well for Endpoint. So many big clutch moments coming out from him. And now it really is last chance saloon for Singularity. Remoy down on a Galil. AKs for the rest of the team. And in need of a little bit of inspiration, I think, to say the least, as the bomb does start to make its way over towards B. A rarely traversed site for the T side. But can they make it work?
Well, it's still... There's a lot of time for them to go wherever they want to. The bomb can still make its way up into short. Going into B site when it's a 5v5 and CTs haven't really actually used any utility except for on long, you're probably not wanting to do that in all fairness. Look at Max though. He's so aggressively far forward. He scouts out a player. He's got a nade as well. He's got full utility. And it's almost impossible to break this B bomb site. This nade's going to come through soon enough. Surreal's right behind him with a secondary smoke as well. So this bomb has to go over to short, and they've realized it. And now Crucial, guess who has a Molotov? It's him. So by the time they start to walk through, they'll have to use that smoke on for that molly. Crucial even gets a kill before going down, as does Flames. And Shore's a 3v3, but the T's are already tagged down heavily enough that the AK advantage doesn't really exist. It all comes down to Remoy.
Three-man short push, not something you see every day, and there's plenty of presence here for the T side to counter as well. Cellray on the headshot angle finds his, and Mighty Max left in the 1v2, finds the first but not the second. Iceberg just about able to bail his team out on the AWP, and Singularity, I was really, really worried from them there. The time was getting incredibly low. They were split between the two bomb sites. They just about managed to make it work. They just about barreled their way up short and get their first T-sided round on the board. And actually, Endpoint's economy is not going to withstand the test of time either. 2 scouts, a couple of rifles, and a deagle as they look for the buy, knowing that they've got a nice cushion of rounds to try and find this finishing blow, but it's not pretty. It's rough around the edges, and Endpoint, it would take something a little bit special. I mean, I say that, and then you immediately just think of all the players pull it off to find this round.
While it wouldn't be the strangest things in the world to see Crucial get a couple of kills with the scout, definitely seen that come through before. I'm slightly surprised actually that Surreal isn't the one on the secondary scout. He's also very good with it, but peeking into mid with the scout is Crucial, trying to bail out another shot from the AWP and try and maybe just get something done as the mid to B smokes come through. Surreal's got himself the deagle, needs to come out big, get some huge headshots while Mighty Max just tries to spam away the smoke. Surreal can't provide him cover, and Mighty Max is dancing around the big box, and he'll have to start finding frags, but he just gets taken down. 3v3 still doable, but they've got to take care of the player inside mid, and that will be Cellrate, who sure gets one, but the important kill is actually found by Robin.
Throws Crucial into this 2-on-1. Of course, no harm going for it. The buffer will suffice, and it's going to be all on his timings now. Noten was watching for the doors push. He's just reset his angle, which has given Crucial half an inch of movement. He almost catches the timing, but Noten just a little quicker on the draw. Will find the headshot, and Singularity again will get themselves another round on the board. It's a little bit more expensive than they perhaps would have liked against that kind of a force buy, but they managed to make it work. Endpoint forced back onto the full eco with no money at all. An opportunity for Singularity to perhaps put some respect into this scoreline at the very least. An 8th should be pretty much inevitable at this point. Endpoint really would need a miracle, and the pistols stack up in towards middle, hoping to just catch the drop on somebody, but I think a few too many rifles there indeed. Remoy and Iceberg to back him up, finish the job beautifully, cleanly. Noten gets the final frag, but that's about what you'd expect from a full eco from a CT side on Dust 2. So 15-8. As quickly as the round starts, it's done. And Endpoint actually with some big decisions to make. Are going to be looking at another half buy. Deagle's come out. They're not willing to invest fully yet.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we just saw Endpoint prioritize the double up at this point. They don't necessarily need one, but it would be nice just to try and close everything out with a nice little cherry on top. Let Crucial get maybe a bit more aggressive towards mid, unless Mighty Max wants to use it the way he was using the scout. But still, flashbang setup coming out to pop into short could be incredibly good for them. Crucial and Robin both just waiting for the peak to come through, waiting for any sort of information to really come through. And with Nikodos making some noise as he jumps up and down, this could be the cue for them to start moving forward. Nikodos, though, he sees the backpack, and with that, Crucial and Robin will both fall. Nico trying to push through, but it's Mighty Max who's really the risk on the CT side. Comes in, straight smacks the man midair. And with him and Flames finding a kill apiece, the numbers are still a 3v3, but the AWP being recovered is what's really deadly, as he will be smoking himself off.
Oh, that was an important frag. Iceberg takes out Mighty Max, and now Surreal with just 3 HP is looking to play a timing, actually. If he can get bombed, that would have been huge, but Cell Rate deals with the issue, and it's all on Flames, all on the AWPer. He's managed to find one. Singularity start to second-guess themselves again, trying to send Cell Rate through, and that is lucky. That is very lucky indeed. The spray down, fully jumping through the smoke to find the headshot. Flames, it felt like he was on for something there, but he can't quite find it. Very fortunate Singularity to get their 9th. Again, far more expensive than it should have been. And now Endpoint will have that full buy. No double AWP, crucial, the only big green for the CT side, but they've looked very good with these rifles in their hands, and they're looking to finish the job.
Well, Singularity still want to, like you said, maybe get a bit of respect in themselves for this game. And then after that, hey, if you've got some respect, why not try and get the overtime as well while you're at it? Flashbang comes out from Nikodos. It goes overhead. Surreal's alone on the bomb side. Has to smoke himself off so he's not mollied out. And he's using it nicely, but Remoy intercepts him. And that will be Endpoint just making the straight safe call immediately. And that's kind of what I was expecting from Singularity on their CT side as well, when they go for these slightly stringier full blinds, I would say. But Endpoint, they're fine with it, and Singularity probably not looking to hunt.
A gentleman's agreement in this round, as that one pick, it's a little bit of a cheese strategy. Go fast into B, hope there's only one player there, but if there is and you can find that early pick, there's no CT player even vaguely close. The round's done before it's even started, and yeah, as you said, Endpoint, they're immediately looking to save. They know that now Singularity are on double digits. It's starting to get a little bit tighter than they would have liked, and they really want to be able to put it to bed now. They want to get this game over and done with, so looking to hold on to those rifles and give yourselves a real opportunity rather than just throwing them away at a 4-on-5 B retake. Singularity, whilst they will send a couple of players searching, they're not really willing to full commit to that hunt. They know their economy isn't fantastic. If they lose 3-4 rifles 2-3 times, then admittedly the scoreline gets close, but their economy really starts to buckle a little bit as well. So a gentleman's agreement gives us the round we had, and now at 15-10, both teams on double digits. Endpoint will look to stick it once more. Fast buy out of long this time from Singularity. Plenty of nades behind it. Robin and Flames want to contest this. And the smoke actually going to keep Singularity out of it for a good amount of time. They committed a lot of utility to trying to take that early portion of the map, and one smoke has kept them out, and quick rethink has got them going up short.
I mean, they've used all their flashes on 2 players, and the rest of them only have a handful left, so this will not be an easy short push by any stretch of the imagination. But the one thing they've been good about is always keeping a smoke for smoking off the Molotov that Crucial generally keeps for later on, but that is a big nade. Nikodos and Iceberg being as low as they are makes this a lot sketchier. And now, 4 smokes are there. You can definitely go for a short hit. Flames is watching out for the late flank to come in from behind, but a minute now left on the clock. The call will be there to start going in soon enough. Smokes to come through. Molotov will be the response, I'm sure, soon enough. Now, Crucial already used it, so this will be interesting. Crucial's in a very difficult position now. Flashbang will go out, trying to delay for a while longer as they jump downwards, and they're going straight up to Crucial. Crucial will hit the first shot, has to rephase for more. He knows it's his time to fight out of it, otherwise he doesn't have a chance, and even the fight is lost. Iceberg traded away by Robin. 3 players on this A bomb site are all looking to fight their way out. Singularity have got themselves a bomb down, but no utility to cover their tracks, and their tracks are filled with blood. Surreal finds 2, and Cellrate is alone. 1v4, trying to fight back, gets the first few chances, but he's not capitalizing. He gets 2 shots late. And although it's a heroic effort, Endpoint will take it away. Singularity make it a double digits, but even that seems to be just them down on their knees and begging them, please let us get something. And unfortunately, that's all they'll get.